My name is Will Bellman, and I'm the CEO of Acolyte Cloud Solutions. It's a small consulting and software company that specializes in providing experience to young developers that are just trying to get into the market. How I got started in computers is actually, you have to go back a very long way. When I was 7 years old, my dad brought home our first computer. It was an Apple IIe. My dad wouldn't buy any games for us. So his response was basically, if you want a game, you're going to have to learn to write it yourself. And he gave me a basic book, and that's how I started. I started doing small little programs like guessing games and that kind of thing. And over the years, it kind of grew in from just a hobby into, I guess, obsession would be the term. As I got better and better with the software side of things, my dad would bribe engineers to come and sit with me and teach me stuff. So I actually started, my first professional software gig was when I was 17 years old. I've worked with technologies, anything from DevOps, kind of behind the scenes, to lead dev, back-end, middleware, front-end. So I'm kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to the software world. If you're going to be a success in software, you have to love it. You have to eat, sleep, and breathe it. You've got to enjoy it. And I think that's what's kept me going through the years. I've tried stepping away from software from time to time, but I find that my real passion is in solving problems and helping connect people with information and helping connect people with other people and kind of bringing that all together. And software is an amazing tool that does exactly that. I think I would say I bring two things to the table when it comes to Code Tech Talk. The first is I have a strong desire, because I was mentored so much in my early career, I have a strong desire to be that mentor for other people and kind of give back to the community, which was what was given to me. The second thing I think I bring to Code Tech Talk is I have a wide variety of experience in a bunch of different languages and a bunch of different technologies. And I think in today's world, developers get very focused on a single path, a single language, a single destination, right? And I think being able to provide a glimpse into multiple languages and multiple ways of doing things, and once you learn how kind of the computer thinks, it's easier to program in different languages, right? So being able to pull in a little bit of Python, or being able to pull in a little bit of C# or do some JavaScript and kind of compare and interest the differences between all three of those things. I think that's something that is very helpful to young developers starting out. I think the most important thing for developers to keep in mind when they're approaching my videos is to kind of relax and have fun with it. And it's actually funny, I was reading an article about the imposter syndrome, and how developers, especially because technology is constantly changing and it's constantly moving and there's new stuff all the time, most developers have this complex that I'm a fake, I'm a fraud. To make a good developer, to make a strong developer, you have to get past that. You have to get past that impulse. You have to get past the, I'm going to poke holes in this, and move to the, I may not necessarily agree with what this person is saying, but let me see if there's something I can pick up about the way he does it. And that's what I hope most people come with, is kind of a relaxed, open mind. So to my future students, I would say, first of all, thank you for checking us out and sitting down and hearing what we have to say. But second of all, I always hope to make a developer better than they were today. I encourage you and kind of challenge you to set that bar for yourself.